Are you ready to see your garden come alive with vibrant colors this spring? Well, I've got some exciting news for you. Today, I'm going to show you 9 perennials that you can plant in late September and early October. Yes, it's the perfect time to prep for a stunning spring garden. Stick around because these plants will not only brighten your garden, but they're also super easy to care for and will come back year after year. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the gardening tips and tricks we share every daily. Today, I'll be showing you 9 perennials you should plant in fall for a garden that bursts into life next spring. Let's dive right in. Let's start with one of my personal favorites, the purple coneflower, or Echinacea purpurea. This hardy perennial is known for its striking daisy-like blooms that add a pop of purple to any garden. Not only does it offer vibrant color, but it's also incredibly resilient, making it a perfect choice for both beginners and seasoned gardeners. It thrives in USDA zones 3 through 9, meaning it's adaptable to a wide range of climates. Whether you're in the colder zones or the warmer ones, this plant is sure to make your garden stand out. Planting the purple coneflower is easy. It loves full sun, at least 6 hours a day, and well-drained soil. When you plant it, make sure to space the flowers about 12 to 18 inches apart to allow for their natural growth. They have deep roots, so you don't have to worry much about them needing constant attention once established. The great thing is that they're drought-tolerant once they're settled in, making them perfect for low-maintenance gardening. Now, here's where it gets exciting. These plants bloom from midsummer to fall, and their petals start off a rich purple before fading to a lovely pink. They attract pollinators, so you'll see bees and butterflies visiting them throughout the warmer months. And don't worry about the colder months, purple coneflowers are incredibly winter hardy. Just make sure to mulch them a bit in the fall to protect them from extreme winter temperatures. This plant doesn't just look great in your garden, it's also beneficial for wildlife. Its seeds are a food source for birds, and its blooms bring bees and butterflies. Plus, purple coneflower has medicinal uses. Traditionally, it's been used to boost the immune system. This is a must-have plant if you're looking for something both beautiful and practical. Next up, we have the vibrant black-eyed Susan, or Rudbeckia hirta. This classic perennial is a favorite among gardeners for its cheerful, golden yellow petals and dark, contrasting center. These flowers are tough, making them ideal for almost any garden, and they'll definitely brighten up your landscape with their bold, warm colors. Black-eyed Susans are hardy in USDA zones 3 through 9, so they'll thrive in a wide variety of climates. Whether you're in a colder region or a warmer one, these flowers are adaptable and can withstand different temperatures. Planting these beauties is simple. They do best in full sun, they really love soaking up that sunlight, and they also prefer well-drained soil. Space them about 12 to 18 inches apart to give them room to spread out as they grow. Once they're planted, be sure to water them deeply, especially during their first growing season. But once they're established, they're quite drought tolerant. They also benefit from deadheading, removing spent flowers so that they continue to bloom through the fall. These gorgeous flowers will bloom from midsummer through fall, providing color when many other plants have already finished. The bright yellow flowers with their dark centers are perfect for adding that classic garden look. Once the blooms start to fade, don't forget to cut them back. This helps keep the plant healthy for the next growing season. And in winter, just leave the stems standing. Black-eyed Susans often provide winter interest in the garden, and the seeds attract birds like finches and sparrows. One of the best things about black-eyed Susans is their low-maintenance nature. They don't require much care, making them ideal for beginner gardeners. Plus, they attract pollinators, which is always a bonus for any garden. The best part? They're not just pretty to look at, they're a vital part of the ecosystem, providing food for birds and insects, which helps support biodiversity in your garden. I'm curious, have you ever grown black-eyed Susans in your garden? How do you like to use them in your landscape? Drop a comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear your gardening experiences. Next on our list is the beautiful daylily, a perennial that blooms like clockwork every year. With their wide range of colors from soft yellows and oranges to deep reds and purples, daylilies are a fantastic addition to any garden. These plants are incredibly versatile, and they've earned their spot as one of the most popular garden flowers worldwide. What's even better, they are incredibly low maintenance while offering big rewards. Daylilies thrive in USDA zones 3 through 9, making them perfect for most gardeners across the country. Whether you're in a colder climate or a warmer zone, these plants will adapt and perform beautifully in your garden. Their resilience to various weather conditions make them an easy choice for new gardeners and those who want a reliable bloomer in their landscape. When planting daylilies, choose a spot that receives full sun for at least 6 hours a day. They prefer well-drained soil, so make sure to plant them in an area that doesn't stay too soggy. The best part about daylilies is that they're not too picky about the soil. They can thrive in most garden soils as long as it's well-drained, and they do especially well in slightly acidic to neutral soils. Space them about 18 inches apart to give them enough room to grow. Once planted, water them well, especially during their first season, and then they'll need little attention beyond the occasional watering during dry spells. They are also drought tolerant, so you won't have to worry about them too much once established. Expect daylilies to bloom from early to mid-summer, offering bright, showy flowers that last only for a day. But don't worry, the plant produces so many blooms in succession that you'll have weeks of color. To keep them blooming, simply remove the spent flowers, a process called deadheading. This encourages new growth and helps keep the plant looking neat. And while they're beautiful during the warmer months, they're incredibly tough in winter, surviving in colder temperatures with ease. A little mulch in the winter can help protect the roots, but they're hardy enough to make it through on their own. Daylilies are perfect for gardeners who want a beautiful, easy-to-grow plant with minimal care. They come in so many colors, shapes, and sizes, making it easy to find one that fits your garden's unique style. And, like other perennials, they come back year after year, which is always a bonus when planning for long-term garden beauty. Whether you plant them in mass for a bold statement or use them to fill in gaps in your garden, daylilies are sure to impress. What I love most about daylilies is how they attract butterflies and hummingbirds. If you want to encourage pollinators in your garden, this is definitely the plant for you. And because they're so low maintenance, you'll have more time to enjoy their beauty rather than worrying about taking care of them. Have you ever planted daylilies in your garden? Which color varieties do you love the most? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your favorite daylily experiences. Next, we're talking about peonies, Paeonia species, a truly timeless perennial that brings a touch of elegance to any garden. With their large, fragrant blooms, often in shades of pink, white, and red, peonies are a garden favorite, known for their beauty and luxurious look. These stunning flowers are the kind that can make any space feel more sophisticated and refined. And let's not forget about their delightful scent that fills the air during the blooming season. Peonies thrive in USDA zones 3 through 8, which makes them a great option for most gardeners across the United States. Whether you're in a cooler region or a milder climate, these flowers can adapt and thrive with the right care. Peonies prefer colder winters to trigger proper dormancy, so they're ideal for areas with a distinct seasonal change. That being said, if you're in a warmer zone, make sure to plant them in a spot that gets a little more shade to help them cope with the heat. When planting peonies, it's important to choose the right location. They love full sun but can tolerate a little afternoon shade, especially in hotter regions. Peonies prefer rich, well-drained soil, so it's a good idea to amend the soil with organic compost before planting. These plants have deep roots, so be sure to plant them at the right depth, about 2 inches deep, as planting them too deep can prevent them from blooming properly. Space them 3 to 4 feet apart to give them plenty of room to grow. Once planted, water them deeply, but avoid waterlogging the soil. Once established, peonies are drought tolerant and can survive with minimal water, making them relatively low maintenance. Peonies are known for their stunning blooms, which usually appear in late spring to early summer. Their flowers last for about a week, but with multiple buds on each plant, you'll enjoy a steady show of color for an extended period. After blooming, be sure to remove the spent flowers to keep the plant healthy and looking neat. In the fall, you can cut the foliage back to the ground, and by then the plant will be fully dormant, ready to rest for the winter months. One of the best things about peonies is that they can live for decades if planted properly and cared for. Some plants have been known to last up to 100 years. They're a wonderful investment for gardeners who are looking for something that will bring beauty year after year. Plus, peonies are incredibly hardy. They can withstand colder temperatures, and while they may need a little protection in areas with harsh winters, they usually bounce back strong in the spring. These flowers also attract pollinators, particularly bees and butterflies, so if you're looking to support local wildlife, peonies are a great choice. And let's not forget about how incredible they look in bouquets. They're the go-to flower for many gardeners looking to create stunning floral arrangements. Have you ever had peonies in your garden? What's your favorite peony color or variety? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. I'd love to hear about your experience with these beautiful blooms. Let's talk about astilbe, a perennial that really stands out for its feathery, plume-like flowers that add a soft, airy texture to any garden. These flowers come in shades of pink, red, white, and lavender, making them a versatile choice for any color palette. Astilbe is a fantastic plant for adding a little drama to your shade or woodland garden, and they pair beautifully with ferns and hostas. Astilbe thrives in USDA zones 4 through 9, making it perfect for gardeners in temperate climates. These plants love cool, moist environments, so they're ideal for those of you in regions with a bit more rainfall. If you're in a warmer climate, just make sure to plant them where they'll receive some afternoon shade, as they prefer cooler conditions to really thrive. When it comes to planting astilbe, they love moist, well-drained soil. It's crucial to plant them in a spot that stays a little damp, so they're perfect for those with naturally moist areas or where you have regular rainfall. They also prefer partial to full shade, making them great candidates for garden beds under trees or along shaded garden paths. Space them about 12 to 18 inches apart to give them room to grow. Once planted, water them regularly to keep the soil consistently moist, especially during the hotter months. They're not as drought tolerant as some other perennials, so consistent moisture is key to their success. Astilbes bloom in mid to late summer, and their feathery blooms can last for several weeks, providing a pop of color when other plants are fading. These flowers are excellent for brightening up shady areas that don't get a lot of sun but still need a vibrant touch. After blooming, cut the spent flowers back to encourage fresh growth, and be sure to mulch them in the fall to protect the roots during winter. This plant is perfect for gardeners who want to create a lush, cool garden with low maintenance. Astilbes are not only beautiful, but also very hardy in the right conditions, and they're perfect for adding texture and movement with their airy flowers. Plus, they attract pollinators like bees and butterflies, making them a wonderful addition to a wildlife-friendly garden. Have you ever grown astilbe in your garden? How do you use these feathery flowers in your landscape? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your gardening stories. Now let's move on to sedum, also known as stonecrop. This is a tough and drought-tolerant perennial that's perfect for those of us who live in areas with hot summers or where water conservation is important. Sedum plants come in a variety of forms, from ground covers to upright varieties, and they're known for their thick, succulent leaves that store water, which makes them incredibly low maintenance. Sedum is hardy in USDA zones 3 through 9, making it a versatile choice for many different climates. Whether you're in a cold region or a hot one, sedum will thrive with very little care, making it an excellent option for beginner gardeners or anyone looking for a low-effort perennial that still provides stunning beauty. When planting sedum, choose a location that receives full sun, as they perform best in bright light. These plants thrive in well-drained, poor to moderately fertile soil, so they're perfect for areas where other plants might struggle. They don't mind a little neglect, so you can plant them and pretty much forget about them. Space them about 12 to 18 inches apart to allow them to spread naturally. Once established, they're incredibly drought-tolerant and require very little watering even during dry spells. Sedum begins blooming in late summer to fall, and its clusters of star-shaped flowers attract pollinators like bees and butterflies. The blooms can range in color from soft pinks to deep reds, and the leaves often turn a beautiful shade of red or purple in the fall, adding extra interest to your garden. After the blooms fade, you can leave the seed heads in place for winter interest and to provide food for birds. One of the best things about sedum is how easy it is to care for. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced gardener, these plants are virtually foolproof. They're also perfect for rock gardens, borders, or containers, and they make great ground covers for dry, sunny spots. The combination of its beautiful flowers and minimal care requirements makes sedum a must-have for any garden. Do you have sedum in your garden? I'd love to know what variety you grow and how you incorporate them into your landscape. Share your tips in the comments below. Now let's take a look at Russian sage, Perovskia atroplicifolia, a plant that brings a touch of elegance and grace to any garden with its silvery foliage and tall, airy spikes of lavender blue flowers. This perennial is a favorite for gardeners who want to add a little more texture and movement to their landscapes, and it pairs wonderfully with other drought-tolerant plants. Its delicate flowers sway in the wind, creating a soft, ethereal effect that's perfect for any garden. Russian sage thrives in USDA zones 4 through 9, which means it's adaptable to many different climates. It's especially great for gardeners in dry, hot regions who are looking for a plant that can handle the heat while still providing stunning beauty. Russian sage loves the sun, and the more sunlight it gets, the better it performs. When planting Russian sage, choose a location that receives full sun. This plant thrives in well-drained soil and can even handle slightly poor soil, which makes it a great choice for less than ideal garden spots. Space them about 18 to 24 inches apart to give them plenty of room to grow and spread. Once planted, Russian sage doesn't require much watering. It's extremely drought-tolerant once established, so you won't need to water it frequently. In fact, overwatering can actually harm this plant, so be sure to let the soil dry out a bit between waterings. Expect Russian sage to bloom in mid-summer to fall, offering long-lasting lavender blue flowers that attract bees and butterflies. The plants have an upright growth habit, reaching heights of up to 3 to 5 feet, so they make a wonderful backdrop or vertical element in your garden. After blooming, cut the flowers back to keep the plant looking neat, and in winter, the stems provide a beautiful architectural shape. This plant is perfect for gardeners who want to add a touch of elegance with minimal effort. Russian sage is low maintenance, drought tolerant, and deer resistant, making it a fantastic choice for dry landscapes or anyone looking for a hardy, easy to grow perennial. Have you ever grown Russian sage in your garden? I'd love to hear how you use it in your landscape and what kind of flowers you like pairing it with. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Next, we have the cheerful and classic Shasta daisy. If you've ever dreamed of a garden filled with white daisy-like flowers, this is the plant for you. With its crisp white petals and sunny yellow centers, Shasta daisy is the epitome of a classic cottage garden flower. They're perfect for anyone who loves that traditional garden look, and they're incredibly easy to grow. Shasta daisy thrives in USDA zones 5 through 9, which makes it a reliable choice for gardeners in a variety of climates. Whether you're dealing with cooler temperatures or milder weather, Shasta daisy will adapt and perform well in most conditions. Plus, they love the sun, and they'll reward you with vibrant blooms when planted in a bright, sunny spot. For planting, choose a location that gets full sun, as Shasta daisies need plenty of light to produce their large, cheerful flowers. They also prefer well-drained soil, and while they're not particularly fussy about soil quality, they do best in slightly acidic to neutral soil. Space them about 18 to 24 inches apart to allow for healthy growth and air circulation. Water them regularly during their first growing season, but once they're established, Shasta daisies are quite drought tolerant and will need less frequent watering. These flowers bloom from late spring to early summer, producing a steady display of beautiful white petals with bright yellow centers. Deadheading the spent flowers encourages more blooms, so don't forget to keep them trimmed throughout the season. After blooming, cut the plant back to the ground, and you'll often see a fresh burst of growth and possibly even a second round of blooms before the end of summer. What's great about Shasta daisies is that they're low maintenance and long-lasting. Once planted, they tend to come back year after year without much fuss. They're also fantastic for attracting pollinators, such as bees and butterflies, making them an excellent choice for a wildlife-friendly garden. Whether you plant them in mass or as a part of a mixed border, Shasta daisies are sure to bring a smile to your face with their simple beauty. Do you have Shasta daisies in your garden? I'd love to hear about how you use them in your landscaping. Let me know in the comments below, and feel free to share any tips or tricks you've learned along the way. Last but certainly not least, we have the beautiful coral bells, or heuchera, a fantastic perennial known for its vibrant foliage and delicate flowers. These plants come in a range of colors, from deep purples and reds to silvery greens and even bright lime greens. With such a stunning color variety, coral bells are perfect for adding a pop of color and texture to any garden, whether in the shade or sun. Coral bells thrive in USDA zones 4 through 9, making them suitable for a wide range of gardeners across different climates. Whether you're in a cooler zone or a warmer one, these plants will do well in many areas, as long as you plant them in the right conditions. They do especially well in partial to full shade, but in areas with cooler summers, they can also handle some full sun. When planting coral bells, choose a location with well-drained soil. These plants are relatively low maintenance, but do best when the soil is rich in organic matter. Coral bells don't like to sit in wet soil, so be sure to plant them in an area where the water drains well. Space them about 12 to 18 inches apart, and plant them with the crown of the plant slightly above the soil line to avoid rot. Water them well during their first growing season, but once they're established, they're quite drought tolerant and will need little maintenance. The foliage of coral bells is what truly makes them stand out, as the leaves come in such a beautiful variety of colors and textures. These plants are known for their striking, bold leaves, which can add year-round interest to your garden. Though the flowers are small and bell-shaped, they appear on tall spikes in late spring to early summer and are a lovely complement to the foliage. They attract hummingbirds and butterflies, so you'll get a little extra wildlife action in your garden. The best part about coral bells is how versatile they are. They're perfect for planting in shady borders, along pathways, or even in containers. Their low-growing nature also makes them a great option for adding color under taller plants or shrubs. And because they come in so many different colors, it's easy to create a stunning color scheme by combining different varieties. Whether you use them for color contrast or as a backdrop for brighter blooms, coral bells are sure to add beauty to your garden. Have you ever planted coral bells in your garden? I'd love to know which variety you grow and where you like to plant them. Drop your comments below and let me know your favorite way to use coral bells in your landscape. Now that you've got your list of amazing perennials to plant this fall, let's talk about a few extra tips to help you get your garden ready for the spring bloom. 1. Watering techniques. While these plants are relatively low maintenance, they still need proper watering during the first growing season. The key is deep watering. Rather than watering frequently, give your plants a good soak every few days so the water reaches their roots. This encourages deep root growth, which is essential for strong, healthy plants. 2. Preparing for winter. As the weather starts to cool down, don't forget to prepare your garden for winter. For perennials like astilbe and peonies, you can apply a layer of mulch around the base to protect their roots. This will help them survive the cold months and get a fresh start come spring. 3. Soil enrichment. Many of these plants, like Shasta daisies and coral bells, thrive in rich, well-drained soil. If your soil is heavy or compacted, amend it with organic compost to improve drainage and add vital nutrients. This helps prevent root rot and encourages healthier growth. 4. Fertilizing in fall. Before the growing season ends, consider adding a balanced, slow-release fertilizer to the soil around your perennials. This gives them a little boost to strengthen their roots over the winter, ensuring they come back strong and ready to bloom in the spring. If you're enjoying these tips and want to see more gardening content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you found this video helpful, share it with your gardening friends. Let's spread the word and grow beautiful gardens together. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to plant these perennials this fall for a beautiful spring garden. Remember, no matter the size of your garden or your experience level, there's a perennial for everyone. Make sure to leave a comment below and let me know which perennial you're most excited to plant. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy gardening.